Jai Hind students, welcome to physics class of grade 12. Last lecture we discussed about the concept of electric flux and derivation of the Gauss law. In this lecture we will discuss the applications of the Gauss law. So first of all, let's do the derivation of Coulomb's law from Gauss law. How can we derive Coulomb's law from the Gauss law? It's very simple. Let us consider a point charge at point O. Let us say Q is the point charge. My target is to find electric field intensity at point P. To find the electric field intensity at the point P, I have to apply the Gauss law. Right? Now, for the Gauss law, we always require an imaginary surface which is called the Gaussian surface. What will be the Gaussian surface in this case? The Gaussian surface in this case, it will be a sphere. Sphere whose radius is equal to OP. Let us say this OP is R. Right? This OP is R. So what I am saying here, Gaussian surface is a sphere of radius R. Right? Gaussian surface is a sphere whose radius is R. Right? To apply the Gauss law, what we will do, we will consider a small area ds. We know that the area is having direction. The direction of area is outward normal. So here this ds is the vector whose direction is this and whose magnitude equal to ds, and such that the magnitude is very small, it approaches 0. Now, if at the point P I consider a point charge Q naught, what will happen? This Q, it will repel this test charge Q naught in this direction. So I can say the direction of electric field, it is also in this direction. Right? So I can say that E is parallel to ds. What does it mean? It means angle between E and ds is 0. Now, electric flux through small surface area ds equals to d phi. D phi, it equals to E dot ds, and this is EDS cos theta. Here theta is 0, so I am writing EDS cos 0, and cos 0 equals to 1. I am saying that this electric flux, it equals to the EDS. Now, my target is to find the total electric field at this point Q naught. So, what I will do? Now, total electric flux phi, what it will be? It will be the integral of EDS, and integration is done over this closed surface. So take E outside and ds inside. If I add all these small surfaces, what I will get? I will get a sphere. So here E And what is the value of the surface area of a sphere? It is 4 pi r square. Right? Now, from Gauss law, what does the Gauss law says? That electric flux through a closed surface is equal to Q by epsilon naught 1 2. Using 1 and 2, what I get? E 4 pi r square Q by epsilon naught. So this E, it equals to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Right? Now, we know that electrostatic force is given by Q naught E. So what is the value of E? Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So this F equals to Q naught Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So this is the electrostatic force. So this is the expression of electrostatic force, and we know that it is similar to the Coulomb's law, and this is the say Coulomb's law. So in this way we can derive the Coulomb's law from the Gauss law. Now let's do a few questions based on the electric flux and Gauss law. My first question is, electric field intensity is given by 6I plus 3J minus 4K, and there is an surface area of 20 meter square in XY plane. What I have to calculate? I have to calculate the electric flux such that electric field, it is given in Newton per Coulomb. Now E is 6I plus 3J minus 4K Newton per Coulomb. Surface area is 20. It is in XY plane. So what is the plane which is perpendicular to XY? What is the, if I say, what is the direction of normal which is perpendicular to this? It is along Z axis. So I will write here as K. This is the direction. So 20K meter square. Now what is the electric flux? Electric flux is E dot S. So E is 6I plus 3J minus 4K dot 20K. We know that I dot K is 0, J dot K is also 0. So what this is the say? I got the answer, and K dot K 1. So my answer is minus 80. What will be its unit? Newton per Coulomb. Meter square is the unit. Now next question is, a circular sheet of radius 10 centimeter is placed in a uniform electric field of 5 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per Coulomb, making an angle of 60 degree with the direction of electric field. Calculate the electric flux through this. So what I am given? I am given that, let us say this is a circular sheet. Let us say R is its radius. and this radius is 10 centimeter. Now, what will be the direction of electric field here? What is the direction of area? Area is this direction, right? So there is an electric field which is making an angle of 60 degree with this. It is in this direction, making an angle of 60 degree, right? So I have to calculate the electric flux through this. Now electric flux, it is given by Es cos of theta. E here is 5 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per coulomb. And what is S? Surface area of a circle is pi r square. So pi is 3.14 and r is 10 centimeter. So square of 10. So when you will solve this, it is 314 centimeter square. But centimeter is CGS unit. So I have to convert it into SI unit. How I will convert? I will multiply. 1 centimeter is 10 to the power minus 2 square. So how much this will be? 314 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Now, what is the electric flux here? Es cos of 60. E here is 5 into 10 to the power 5. S is 314, 10 to the power minus 4 cos of 60. And what is the cos of 60? Cos of 60 is 1 by 2. You solve this, and when you will calculate this, you can find its value, and its unit will be Newton meter square per coulomb. Next is, there is one more question. Let me ask that question. You are given a cylinder. Let us say this is a cylinder which is given to you, right? You are given a cylinder which is given to you, and such that this cylinder is placed in an electric field which is parallel to the direction of the axis of the cylinder. We know that this is the this dotted line is the axis of the cylinder. The direction of electric field, it is also in this direction. This electric field is the uniform electric field. My target is to find the electric flux through this cylinder. Now I know that total electric flux through this cylinder, there are 3 parts of the cylinder. One is this area, another one is this area, and third one is this curved area. So I can say it is flux due to, let us say, S1, S2, and this curved area is S3. If I say this is also cylinder, one is this area, another one is this area, and third one is this curved area. So here this is phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3. Now let us say I am considering a small area here. The direction of this ds, it will be outward normal, and direction of electric field, it is in this direction because it is in this direction. So here in this case it can be given as E dot ds over area S1 plus phi 2 E dot ds over area S2 and E dot ds over area S3. Now here we know that theta is 180 degree. And what is theta here in this case? Let's check it out. Let's consider a small area here. ds direction is here and E is also in this direction. So we can say E and ds are in the same direction. Since they are in the same direction, so here in this case theta is 0 degree. And what about this area? Let us say this is the small area ds and direction of electric field, it is in this direction. So angle is 90 degree. So here theta is 90 degree. So I can say that ED integration of E dot ds is EDS cos 180 degree plus EDS cos 0 plus EDS cos 90, and cos 90 is equal to 0. So I can say this is integration of EDS with negative sign plus EDS, right, minus and 0. So what this is, and if I calculate this EDS plus EDS, so what this will be, if I add this small area I will get a circle. So this is pi r square plus pi r square. So what this is, 0. So the electric flux through this surface, it is equal to 0, right? Next question is, I am given a surface, let us say this is the surface, and in this surface there is a electric dipole such that magnitude of the charge is 4 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb, and here minus 4 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb, and the separation between these two charges is 10 centimeter. Find the electric flux. You have to find electric flux such that each charge, magnitude of charge of the dipole is 4 into 10 to the power minus 7. I know that total charge enclosed by the surface Q equals to 0. Why? 4 into 10 to minus 7 plus minus 4 into 10 to minus 7, it will be 0. And electric flux is total charge enclosed by the closed surface, and its answer is 0. So in this way I can calculate the electric flux. Let's do important derivation. That important derivation is electric field intensity. Electric field intensity due to an infinitely long straight uniformly charged wire. How can I find the electric field due to uniformly charged wire, and that wire is infinitely long? Let us consider that this is infinitely long uniformly charged wire. Let us say this is the charge, positive charge, it is a uniformly charged wire and it is infinitely long. Now, if I say that this is the length dl and dl is carrying the charge q, then its lambda, it equals to the dq by dl. Its lambda, it equals to the dq by dl. Now my target is to find the electric field intensity at point P. Let us say this is the point P. So my target is to find the electric field intensity at that point P such that the distance of the point P, distance of the point P from this wire is R. Right? Now what will be the Gaussian surface in this case? So if I consider all the points which are at a distance r, let us say these are a straight line, these are the points which are at a distance r, then what will happen? Electric field intensity at all these points, it will be same. Now on other side also, let us say have a points where electric field intensity is same. Now what this is? It is a cylinder. Let us say we have considered here Gaussian surface is a cylinder whose length, I have assumed that its length is L. Now let Q is the charge enclosed by this surface. Now here lambda, again it is a charge over length. What is the charge? Where Q is the charge on this L length of the wire. This wire is infinitely long. If I say what is the total charge on this wire, definitely it will be infinity, but infinity is not the answer. So I am considering a part of the wire whose length is L. If its length is dl, charge is dq. If you integrate both the sides, I want to find the charge on the length L, then that charge, it will be q here. So here lambda equals to the q by L. Now my target is to find the electric field intensity at the point P. Now it is very much clear that let's consider this end. Here in this end, the area ds, it is in this direction. But if I place some charge here, what will happen? The direction of electric field is here. Now let's consider a small surface area ds here. Direction of this area, it is this, because outward normal. If you place a small test charge, this charge will definitely repel that. The direction of E, it will be here. Again, it is 90 degree. And if I consider on the curved body, let's consider a small surface area ds here, right? And if you place a test charge here, it will repel. So direction of electric field, it is in this direction. So I can say lambda. So my target is to find the electric field. Now it is clear that ends of cylinder do not contribute to electric flux as theta is 90 degree. As theta is 90 degree. Now for curved surface, E is parallel to ds, therefore theta is 0 degree. Now d phi, it is E dot ds, it is again E ds cos 0. So this is E ds, right? Total flux can be found by integrating above equation. D phi is EDS, integration is done over closed surface. This is phi and this is E dot ds. E dot ds due to end 1, E dot ds due to end 2, and E dot ds due to curved surface. Now E dot ds d phi is phi. E dot ds 0, it is 0. Why this is 0? Because theta is 90 degree. Theta is 90 degree. Here theta is 0. Now this is E ds cos 0. So EDS cos 0, cos 0 is 1. So this is E ds. Now if you find what is the curved surface area of a cylinder, it is 2 pi r L. From Gauss law, phi equals to q upon epsilon naught. So what does it mean? This is 1, this is 2. So E multiplied by 2 pi r L, it equals to q upon epsilon naught. So E it equals to q by 2 pi r L epsilon naught. And we know that q over L is linear charge density, so I can say it is lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r. So I can say that E is inversely proportional to the r. Okay? E is inversely proportional to the r. What does it mean? It means that this is the direction of electric field, this is r. So E is inversely proportional to the r. And this derivation is very, very important. Now next move to one more derivation. Next is electric field intensity. due to uniformly charged spherical shell. Now let's consider a spherical shell. What is the meaning of spherical shell? Its shape is sphere and it is hollow from inside. Nothing is inside. Let us say there is a positive charge Q which is uniformly distributed over its surface. My target is to find the electric field intensity at a point P due to this uniformly charged spherical shell. Now there are three options. Point can be outside the spherical shell, it can lie on the spherical shell, it may be inside the spherical shell. Let us say point P is lying on the spherical shell. Now first point is, so let me first discuss. Let us say R is the radius of this spherical shell and the point P, it is at a distance small r from the center of the spherical shell. First point is, when P lies outside, what does it mean? It means OP which equals to R, this OP is greater than the radius of the spherical shell, right? Now what will be the Gaussian surface? The Gaussian surface in this case, it will be a sphere of radius R. So here Gaussian surface is a sphere of radius R, right? Now here in this case, let's consider a small area ds. In this case, the direction of ds is here. If you place a test charge here, what will happen? This shell and it, they will repel each other. So direction of electric field intensity, it will be in this direction. Now here we know that E is parallel to ds, so theta is 0, and if theta is 0 in this case, no, d phi electric flux through small area ds. So this is E dot ds, and how much this will be? E ds, because cos 0 is 1. Now total electric flux can be found by integrating this equation. So d phi over closed surface is equal to integration over closed surface. Surface is S. D phi's integration is phi and E outside. And what is the integration of ds? ds is the integration of ds will be a surface which is spherical and whose radius is r. And what will be its value? Its value will be, what is the surface area of sphere? E multiplied by 4 pi r square. From Gauss law, phi equals to q by epsilon naught. This is 1, this is 2. From 1 and 2, E multiplied by 4 pi r square q by epsilon naught. So E equals to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So here this and so this is the expression of electric field due to this spherical shell. Now we also know that if sigma is surface charge density, what is sigma? Charge upon area. And what is area, surface area? 4 pi r square. Here r will be capital because there is charge which is distributed only over this surface. There is no charge distribution over this surface. So Q, it equals to sigma 4 pi r square. Now put in 1. What I got? E equal to sigma 4 pi r square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. 4 pi get cancelled, so it is sigma r square divided by epsilon naught r square. So again this is the expression. This is some expression in other form, right? So what we can say? We can say that in this case E is inversely proportional to r square. So what is the graph between E and r? It is inversely proportional to square of r. Alright? Next is, second is, if P lies on the surface of shell, then Q is G, then small r is equal to capital R. Therefore E will be equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R square. And its second expression is, if you put here in this case sigma r square, in place of small r put capital R. So they would be cancelled. So E equals to sigma upon epsilon naught. So these are the expression. Again it says that E is inversely proportional to the square of distance. And in third case, if E lies inside the spherical shell, let us say this was the spherical shell, radius r. No, if point P is lying here, let us say this distance is small r, then this will be the Gaussian surface. So what is the charge inside the Gaussian surface? Charge is 0. Why here charge is 0? The reason is because it is hollow from inside. Charge cannot exist without matter. Now inside Gaussian surface, Q equals to 0. Therefore electric flux E dot ds which equal to Q by epsilon naught, it equals to 0. What does it mean? It means E it equals to 0. What does it mean? It means no electric field lies inside the spherical shell. Now this result is very powerful result. So what does this result means? This result says if we are having any closed cavity which is hollow from inside, electric field is zero. For example, during lightning and thunderstorm, if you are inside the car, let us say the lightning, it struck the car, what will happen to this? The car, if it is made up of the metallic body, what will happen? The entire charge, it will pass to the earth. In any case, electric field inside, it will remain zero. And what this is called? This is called electrostatic shielding. And this electrostatic shielding we will discuss in our next lecture also. Thank you and have a nice day.